Hey everyone, I'm here with RufusAtticus, and what we are doing today, we are taking the Wither challenge from HelenZ, and the conditions are the following. We are only allowed to do it on the Bedrock edition of Minecraft. It has to be in hard difficulty. We cannot use any glitches to trap it, and it's in survival only, of course. And we are not going to use any glitches, but because we are doing it the exploit way, that means we're just doing a different approach, which is our approach. We are going to do it in a very interesting and unique way. Rufus, you want to explain how we do it?
Yeah, so in the world, you can find locations in which a large part of bedrock has been removed. So this is a location in which there was a lake that formed at Y1 and has torn out a whole bunch of bedrock. And we can use this to actually use a natural wither killer. So this is no blocks placed, no blocks removed. We can place the wither down here and kill him naturally. So no glitches are involved. No blocks we're not supposed to have are involved. Everything's natural. And so, of course, the challenge here is finding a location like this and prepping it. And so that is where some of our exploit techniques come in, specifically our bedrock library, which I use to search for a location in the world in which there was a lot of water in layers 1 through 4. And then I went to those locations and I found this one on my first attempt that has a nice location where we can actually suffocate the wither naturally.
Alright, that's pretty cool. So the basic idea is that we place down the soul sand in a formation or that obsidian, correct?
Yes.
All
so
right.
we will place the soul sand like this. And I will hide in here, and then I can place the skulls and run out when we're ready.
Alright, and what is going to happen after that is that the wither is going to spawn somewhere around here, and he is going to suffocate. And what happens to the wither star is that eventually it will go up, because when an item is glitched inside of blocks, it has a sort of item elevator effect, and it pops out right out of the top. And also, just to prove that this is no cheats, that this is fully survival, as you can see here, activate cheats is off. So yeah, we are using this glitchless and completely fully survival. You want to start?
Are we ready?
Yes, we are ready, I think. We are the only two ones here. But yeah, let's go.
1, 2, 3.
Is he there? Oh yeah, he's right there. His heads are looking through, but he should be fine.
Yeah. Initial explosion.
Oh yeah, good at my chest plate.
Yep, and he is going to die. There'll be one more explosion at half bar we'll have to get away from.
Yeah.
But otherwise...
But yes, this is absolutely glitchless. And, I mean, whether this is supposed to be a glitch or not, that is really subjective. But I would say in general that this is not a glitch. Because, well, we are using only natural formations, and it's natural generation.
Yeah, you'll have a good view of the star when it pops up.
Yeah, definitely.
On that side. But don't get too close. He still has one more explosion.
Yeah, at the very end, the final explosion. Almost down. And there you go. Oh, look, there's the star. Alright, well, that's a pretty achievement.
That star was about there, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I think it was a little around there, but yeah, pretty much right there. Probably came out of the side.
Yep.
That's our take on the weather challenge. And yeah, we had a pretty nice idea of doing this, and we hope that you think that this was pretty creative. Of course, trapping it is less of a challenge than killing it yourself, but there is, of course, the challenge involved in using our tools properly to find spots like these, which are very specific and not that easy to find, actually. So yeah, thanks, Rufus.
You're welcome. Thanks, Nix.
Yeah, and well, we hope that you thought it was pretty interesting, and well.
Alright, bye!
Bye! Alright, next project for now is getting some gray concrete, because we need gray concrete for our creeper farm killing area in the nether. And for that I'm just going to set up some of the gray concrete powder as the gravity block duper. This is pretty much the same one that you see in my tutorial, but I cheaped out a little and replaced some of the surface with some redstone dust, hooking the rest up. And since it's at the end fountain, which is not a 3x3, we don't need a delay between all of the modules because they won't be interfering. But anyways, my alt account is just here. He is just loading those chunks, and I will be going into the overworld. Let's just turn it on for a second. But yeah, it should be duplicating everything. And I will be going into the overworld through a nether portal tile. Uh-oh, I made him angry, didn't I? Out. Yeah, that's not good. They probably ended up in the overworld, but whatever. Let's just go there and hope for the best. Alright, so as you can see, all the concrete powder is landing over here. And yeah, those endermen seem to be angry towards me. But as you can see, it's all landing here. And what I will be doing is putting those into shulker boxes. And what goes after that is that I'm just going to hook it up to the wither cage of our tree farm to automatically break all of the concrete powder. Alright, that is all of the concrete powder. Now I'll be getting myself some empty shulker boxes, because those shulker boxes are for our spawn perimeter, where we're crafting TNT from gunpowder. And yeah, we're loading those up, so those are not available at the moment, but getting some more should be easy enough. Let's just head back there. Alright, I'm just going to show you how this works, since I can't really be bothered to make a dedicated machine for this contraption right here, or rather a dedicated wither cage. So the basic idea is just that we have some shulker boxes on top of there, feeding into this hopper. Let's get the shulker boxes out of the hopper. And we have the shulker boxes on top, which are filled with concrete powder. And then we basically just get one of those, give them to the alt account, and the alt account is basically going to be auto-clicking. So as you can see, that is my auto-clicker enabled, and we are just going to have it place concrete right here. And as you can see, with every concrete placed, assuming I'm not picking it up, ow, it will just place all of the concrete, and it will get fed into this little feed tape, and it should presume, oh my god. Never mind that. The idea was that, of course, it just gets blown up by the wither, but I forgot to turn on the clock for the wither, which is kind of unfortunate. But the basic idea is just that all of the concrete gets broken by the wither, which of course would happen if I hadn't been stupid and forgot to turn on the clock for the snowballs. But yeah. Anyways, the way we toggle this clock is we just put a little torch there, and that will shoot all of the snowballs. And there's a snow golem generating snow layers, which of course generates snowballs. And by repeatedly shooting the wither, we will be able to break all of those concrete blocks. So if I just turn on the auto clicker, as you can see, it will place all of the blocks. Right now the auto count is on my phone, and all of those blocks will get broken. This is not very professionally done right now because there is quite a bit of loss, but since we are using a gravity block duper, it's not too much of a hassle. But yeah, I'm going to use those for decoration for the creeper farm walls, and I can just leave that running and show you. So this is our creeper farm collection area at the moment, and as you can see, the walls are decorated with gray concrete, and that is something that I designed. Yes, I can build a little, not very well, but it's well enough, and the patterns up top are going to incorporate creeper faces and continue on like this in a similar fashion. And of course, here's the drop shaft with all the ghost portals. Well, the one ghost portal at the top. And then there is the singular portal that links to the AFK area at the very top right there. Now, I have yet to decide how we get up there outside of scaffolding, which would not be optimal. Yeah, but of course, the walls are going to be fully covered in gray concrete, and potentially also green glass and all that. Oh, did not mean to drop my axe. But yeah, and also we are going to cover that hole right here. I have yet to decide how to make a proper access for, like I said, a portal above, and maybe this tunnel, although I rather doubt it. It's probably just going to get covered up. Right now it's only just to have rather easy access because the portal up there is not properly done. Alright, next day I had some magnificent sleep, and I also had a magnificent stream earlier today on YouTube. And what we did is that we finished this right here. And this, of course, is, as you just saw in the clip before, the nether side of the creeper farm. And yeah, the pattern looks pretty cool. As you can see, we have patterns for a creeper face and some gunpowder inside of the walls incorporated into the design. And believe it or not, that's actually me who designed it. I can kind of build, and apparently I got stuck here. But I guess this is also a nice view. But yeah, this looks pretty nice. Up here is the portal. And how we get up and down, if I manage to somehow... Yeah, let me just do that. How we get up and down is that we use bubble columns. And these bubble columns are, I believe, right there. So there's one right here. Of course, we're using the bubble column tiles because we cannot have any water in the nether. And then to get down, there's just a slime block. So yeah, it's pretty simple. Just get up, although it looks a little funny because there is absolutely no water. And once we're all the way at the top, we can just take the way back down, of course, which is right here. I might as well do some decoration here later, but I have decided against it for now because I'm lazy. And the roof was also a pain to do. So yeah, getting down is quite simple. You just bounce when you land down here, and well, that's pretty straightforward. The basic idea, however, is that we also have this right down there, and for here we use magma and to get down because it's not quite a large distance and it would be faster to just get pulled down instead of bouncing around. But for there, it's faster to bounce around and instead of being pulled down. You get the idea. But yeah, I'm sure you want to see this in full action as much as I do, although I have already seen it. It is quite a lot, so let's just take some distance. And I'm going to log in with my alt account, as you can see right there. And the creepers are already spawning in, that's great. They all dropped down there from the ghost portal. I've shown this several times by now, but I just can't stop looking at it, it's great. Also, you can see that some of the creepers keep their momentum, because they fall straight onto the portal tile, and they keep their momentum and fall down very fast. We're also getting some pigmen, some zombie pigmen, and as you can see there's quite a bunch of gold, and that makes this also a sort of efficient gold farm, because we're of course using portal tiles to transport the creepers into the nether, and because the portal tiles don't really have a direction, because usually pigmen spawn to the south or east of portals, so right now I believe they would be facing east and west, so they would be spawning on the east side, which is this side in relation to that portal tile. But because they're not part of a portal, they actually don't have a real direction, and that means the pigmen will just spawn inside of the portal tile and will instantly get teleported into the nether. But yeah, this does the job pretty well at getting the creepers into the nether. The water underneath the portal tiles, of course, cancels out the fall damage. For the most part, some people said that apparently it does indeed still cause fall damage. And by some people I mean some Xploit members. I don't know, for now it seems like it's working pretty fine. And even if they are, it's not really much of a problem to be honest, because we're still getting enough gunpowder for all of our needs for now. However, with the new despawning changes coming in 1.16, this creeper farm will be completely busted. And well, that's because the despawn radius is so goddamn tiny, the 1.16 update. Literally, outside of 54 blocks, which is exactly the max spawning radius, if the mobs get outside of that radius, they instantly despawn. That means this entire farm is basically useless, because they just fall out of range, and that will break the entire farm. And well, that's not something we're looking forward to. We're looking to build the insta-teleport exploit general mob farm anyway in the future, so that means the one where they spawn instantly in the portal tiles, that one which I showed in the showcase video, and which can also obviously made a way better version of by introducing soul sand, which pushes the mobs like spiders and the baby zombies up into the portal tiles, and that will produce a lot more gunpowder than this. And arguably less effort, well, it will be still a lot of effort, and however we can automate some parts of it, but still a lot of effort. But yeah, this is the state of the current creeper farm at the moment. I think it looks pretty nice, and even if it breaks next update, well, it would be unfortunate, but I'm confident that they are going to change the current despawning mechanics, which is a little concerning. And yeah, there has been a lot of community backlash, so we will be seeing changes, hopefully. Let's hope for them. Oh, and by the way, for those who haven't seen it yet, in the last episode, this is what the creeper farm actually looks like on the overworld side. So it is a half sphere, it is not a full sphere because we were too lazy to finish it, and we couldn't bother because we already got enough gunpowder for, you know, first perimeter and all that. And well, it's basically a half sphere because spawning works spherical in Bedrock Edition. It works from a 24 to 54 block radius. And because that is how the spawning works, we of course aligned our pattern around it. And the pattern is a little hard to see, or rather extremely hard to see, but it's basically just buttons alternating, and on the spots where there is no button, there is a trapdoor on the ceiling, and that only allows creepers to spawn. Well, at least in theory, because apparently we have been getting spawns other than creepers. Of course, we're getting pigmen, but that's not what I mean. We're apparently also getting like skeletons, zombies and all that. So we will have to check for spots like these and eliminate them. Anyways, until 1.16 arrives, which is still a few months ahead, we can mass up lots and lots of gunpowder. Right now, this is only the ones we have in those chests right there. Of course, we can also fill up all the others by some AFKing time. This right here, all these 4 double chests of gunpowder is, I think, little under an hour or something. So we can definitely hoard up on gunpowder as much as we want. I'm pretty sure that 1.16 is a few months away at the very least. So we're basically fine on that. But yeah, we of course already have plans for the future. And of course it's important to plan because, well, on Bedrock Edition we are forced to update. We cannot never update like on Java Edition, unfortunately, but that's okay. So basically we are forced to stay creative. What we're also going to be doing in the next few weeks, or I hope the next few days, is set up the World Eater for our spawn perimeter. And like I've said many times, our spawn perimeter is going to be 18 times 9 chunks. And right now this is only 9 times 9 chunks. This is using a World Eater design from Flolan, and he uses his engine. However, I've found some little issues. For example, spacing doesn't quite work out with all the simulated chunks, and there's also some other issues. I don't remember all of them, but yeah, definitely a lot of optimization left to do, and I also have to adjust at which height these modules are going to be. But it's pretty much like any World Eater you would see. Basically, once all the flying machines are there, they get pushed down a few blocks, more than just one, because that wouldn't be TNT efficient at all. But right now, at the moment, I'm having issues with having enough TNT to bomb out the entire thing. So instead of adding a refilling station, which would of course be automatic, I don't think that it's worth bothering with that. Could probably just break this observer right here so that when it comes back it doesn't trigger the entire thing, and then we can just manually restock it. Of course we can come up with an automatic design later, but at the moment I don't see it being worth it because we really just want to bomb out this area. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that one of the other Xploit members could do it, because as you may know, I am very new to Slimestone and all that, so this is already very limited to my knowledge. I just barely understand it, and yeah, so at least I'm learning, but yeah, I don't really have the capacity to modify this enough to add an automatic restocking system. And well, yeah, this is all a problem because we have movable tile entities, but we of course don't have TNT duplication, and that means that we have a limited supply of TNT. And by the way, this is just ghost blocks, it's not actually there. But yeah, this is going to go pretty well. Hopefully in the next days I will of course document it all in videos. But yeah, it seems pretty promising so far. Ignore that little thing that's a desert well, because they are absolutely hateful to existence. But yeah, this is looking pretty good, and the progress done so far is promising. So what I mean is that we can just remove this observer right here, which would trigger the entire programmable flyer down there, which would pull down the entire, well, set of flying machines by a few blocks. And then if they run out, we can just manually restock them, on all of those engines, and then we can just place the observer back down, and it will push the entire engines down. It will set into the other mode for the other direction, and then it will fire them back up one after another, and they will keep on bombing. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of Xploit. We have a lot more coming in the future. And well, make sure to subscribe because I do have more Xploit episodes like this and many other cool technical Minecraft Bedrock videos on my channel. And of course subscribe to all the other Xploit members because there's nothing without them. Single player would be very boring for all of us. So yeah, that's something pretty cool. And make sure to join the Xploit Discord. And with that being said, well, bye!